Very good evening, Jai Shri Krishna Guru. Thank you for joining Sai Satcharita Parayan. I hope you had a wonderful day today. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Sai Satcharita, the life and teachings of Shirdi, Sai Baba. We'll continue from where we stopped yesterday, that is chapter 37, the description of the Chavadi ceremony. My obeisance to Shri Ganesh, to Shri Saraswati and Shri Guru Maharaj, to the family deity, to Shri Sita Ramachandra. My most humble obeisance, I bow in reverence to the most venerable Guru, Shri Sai Nath. So we stopped at the verse 31. Now we'll continue from verse 32. Ignorance is the root cause of all that creates the illusion of duality between the Creator and His creation. And it is for this reason that perfect wisdom should be acquired from the Shastras in Sanskrit and from the Acharya or spiritual master. Once ignorance is dispelled, not even a vestige of this feeling of duality remains, and then such a one overcomes the birth-death cycle due to his knowledge of oneness between God and his creatures. I think we discussed enough yesterday about this duality and how you need to overcome the ignorance, and the most important thing is you need to surrender to the Guru. And not just that, right? We have to sing the praises of Lord Hari and the Guru and offer devotional service. So some of these methods were already discussed yesterday. So let's continue from here. But he who holds a sense of separateness, even in the slightest degree, will be caught up in the painful birth-death cycle. Destruction and this created universe will follow him always. When moral end is the object of knowledge, that knowledge is undoubtedly the true knowledge. When the object is purely a material end, it is called ignorance. Absolutely. So when you understand the truth about, this world, what is the purpose of your existence on this planet Earth, and when you understand the truth about the material worldly existence and the objects around you that you're attached, then only will you understand what is your purpose, what is real and what is unreal. So when this discrimination happens, that is when you will evolve above. That is exactly what it means. And most importantly, you will attain the oneness with the divine. So the oneness with the knowledge will also happen, because the knowledge about the truth will go deeper inside you. And then you will realize that's God realization. Where the greatest fear in the world, in the worldly life, is that of death. And to be free from this fear, hold tightly to the Guru's feet, which will most certainly bring you this knowledge of oneness. Absolutely. See, everybody fears death. People don't understand, the death is part of the life. But somehow everybody has this fear, oh my God, I have to die. So dying, why should you fear when you have to die? Every body, when it's created, when it's born, it has to die someday. But why do you need to fear? When you take the name of the divine, let the divine lead your path. Let him lead your way. But to overcome this fear, the only remedy or the only method is that you have to surrender unto the lotus feet of the Guru. You have to hold tight to his feet, and only then will you be able to overcome that fear. And then when the death comes, you will very graciously accept it, and you will only keep chanting the name of the divine and very happily leave this mortal coil. That is what is meant here. Where the illusory knowledge of duality enters, there also enters this fear. So when you have this knowledge of duality, that I am separate, I am the body, I am separate from the divine, then there is a problem, because you think you're the body, then you're going to suffer. Because with your mind, body, senses, everything, all you can experience is misery. But if you use the same tool to seek the divine, to attain the divine, then you will overcome that misery and you will only experience that oneness, that blissful state, which is Sachidanand. So where the illusory knowledge of duality enters, there also enters this fear. Hence, serve those feet which, being without a sense of this differentiation, do not have even a trace of this fear. Absolutely. The Guru is Sakshat Parabrahma. The Guru is the manifestation of the Divine Lord Almighty. So when you serve that feet, where there is no such fear, then you will attain that oneness. Then you will also be able to overcome that fear. So nothing shall, you know, nothing shall taint your mind, or nothing shall deter or let the doubt assail in your mind. But you will be able to overcome the mind and only seek the grace of the Guru. And within your mind, when you keep chanting the name of the Divine Lord, then nothing shall befall you at all. Apply on his forehead the sandalwood paste of pure love. Dress him in the pitambar of love, simple loving faith, so that he will reveal to you his devotee, the all pervasive God. Absolutely. So, what is being mentioned here? It is mentioned, apply on his forehead the sandalwood paste of pure love. What is the sandalwood paste? Of pure love. That is what he cares about. He seeks your pure purity, the purity of the heart, the pure love, absolute, which is untainted. Dress him in the pitambar of simple loving faith. So, what is the dress you need to adorn him? Of pitambar. Pitambar is what? Lord Shri Krishna, we adorn him with that. Pitambari we call. So, you need to adorn him with the pitambar of simple loving faith. Loving faith is how? It has to be absolute faith. There has to be no doubts about it. I'll tell you my own state, as a body, the body goes through this, and that is when you need to have this absolute conviction. I'll tell you what happens. There has been times when we go through all the ups and downs, and I have myself gone many a time, lot of ups and downs. I have this absolute faith that when my Guruji is there, what can befall you? But you know what? The mind is always going to put doubts. It's going to, put fears in within you. You know why that happens? Because you have to understand that having that absolute faith means there is no fear, there is no room for any doubt. But it is the job of the mind to always keep putting these doubts within you, and then it is going to make you fearful. Oh, what's going to happen? This pandemic around, people are losing jobs, there's nothing happening. What am I doing? What is going to happen? What is going to come about? We don't know. Life is so uncertain. But why fear when, like Baba says, why fear when I'm here? When you are under the wing of the Guru, when you when you have surrendered yourself to the lotus feet of the Guru, He's everything for you. He's the Kartadatta. He takes care of you. You are His child. So what makes you think that anything shall befall you? Anything shall go wrong in your life? He will never let any such calamity even touch you, because you are under the firewall of His protection. Such is the conviction that you need to have. But you know what happens? It's the mind which will put that doubt in you deliberately, so that you go off the track or go off the path of having that absolute faith. That is exactly what the mind is wanting. So that is where your conviction and your faith in your Guru has to be atal. Atal means it's like that Mount Meru. Nobody can shake that faith. You should not deter even for a moment. So when I'm sitting and talking to my Guruji, and then I know the answer and he has already given to me, but what is it? What covers that answer is that Maya. Not that I don't know, I know it, but that I was telling him, see how my mind is instigating. See, today you are aware of what your mind is doing. But how do you overcome that? But with that faith alone. So it is you who have to have that conviction. Absolutely. Nothing shall befall you. This is the conviction that you need to have. And that faith is not given from outside. It has to be within yourself. And that faith, the developing of that faith is called self-effort. See, the faith is always wavering. See, my Guruji will always say, right? If I keep giving you everything that you desire, that means you have trust in me. Otherwise, your faith is wavering. Oh, my Guruji is there or not? Oh, I have lost my job. Somebody is sick in my family. Something is happening. What's happening? I don't know. I don't feel like working. So many things goes on. It's very beautiful. This evening, Das Bodh Satsang, my Guruji is teaching how to become desireless. Why are you going? My Guruji said, I'm running a consultancy. Is it that you keep coming and asking me about your job, or I'm not running a placement service here, that you keep coming to me for asking for job, or I'm not running a medical hospital, whether you keep asking me about your sick people. What do you think I am? I only care about your spiritual will. My job is to impart this knowledge to you. Why are you coming with your petty issues to me? As a body, you have to go through your prarabdha karma. which is already programmed. It's predefined. There are no two ways about it. So whatever is that, you have to just accept it and keep moving on. When you are under the grace of the Guru, things will work out beautifully well. Everything will be, all is well at the end of the day. That is what will happen. But have that conviction. Why are you wasting your time talking to him about petty things, asking him for petty things? Yes, it is, we all are fearful, so we want to go and tell him how petty human being we are, how crass a human being we are, that we don't even understand how to have faith in him. Why? Because the mind has already put too many doubts in you. See, accept the fact, my Guruji is there, everything will be fine. Just keep facing life and move on. That is the power. That is that faith, and that is that conviction. Why are you dithering? What has to be will be. But when you are under his grace, everything will be cushioned, everything will be fine. He is never going to let any calamity befall you. Have this conviction and focus and progress on your path of spiritual. Why are you going after material worldly things? Just do your duty in the world. Whatever the swadharma you have to do, keep doing it. Like, just have to, it has to become a sleepwalk in your life. You just have to sail through that journey. But your focus has to be 100% in spiritual world. Those who are on the path of spiritual, it is extremely important that you focus here and evolve. Don't go to your Guruji with petty things. Oh, like he was telling, it is powerful lesson. I realized, everybody, including me, at some point in time, we keep making the same mistakes. Because the moment you see him, you think, oh, Guruji, you know what? I have an issue with my job. I have issue with, my parents are sick. Something or the other we want to keep saying. Why? That's what he said. It was a very powerful lesson. It was like a slap on my face. You know what he said? He said, I'm not running the hospital. Go to doctor if you're sick. Why are you coming to me? You think I'm your doctor, is it? No, he's not anybody's doctor. Neither is he running a placement agency that he has to keep giving handouts. What do you think you are? Who do you think you're asking? Please have this little bit understanding. The master is there so that he can give you this knowledge about the truth, such a profound knowledge. His job is to help you evolve, on your path of spirituality, and give you that spiritual will, which is the highest that you can ever ask. Instead of that, you keep going and troubling him for petty issues. Is that what you'll ask the God? He's the God Almighty. So what are you going and wasting his time for? So don't do that. That is exactly what my Guruji was teaching. My Krishna Guruji has taught in this Das Bodh Satsang. You must go listen, and it's a very powerful lesson. We all need to, wake up. It's a wake-up call. We are wasting our time. Yes, we understand. The current situation is quite impactful. We can't go out. We are afraid. We don't know who's where this virus can come from. So there is a lot of fear and insecurities there. So we all want to be safe than sorry. I understand this, but you wake up, whatever the God given time, make the best use of it and evolve. Why are you wasting your time? Don't waste your life. We understand that we are wasting the time, but we are not making that effort to come out of it. The whole point here is that self-effort is a must, extraordinary effort. That is when you will be able to rise. So don't waste your life and become like any other human being, mortal coil, and die again, come back and keep going through this painful journey of birth, death, life cycle. Why do you need that? That is exactly what Baba's teaching here. So coming back, so that he will reveal to you his devotee, the all-pervasive God. That's exactly what Baba is saying. So when you have this absolute faith, when the simple loving faith and the pure love, when you do that, then he will reveal to his devotee, you are his devotee, the all-pervasive God, where he'll give you an understanding that the God is everything. So that is why he keeps saying you need to be able to see God in everything, and that's a very difficult thing to attain. The only way to attain is this. When you have that absolute faith, when you have this pure love for that Guru, and he will then reveal you that all-pervasive God. So wake up, go and seek that. When you bathe him in tears of joy, which are replete with the Ashtabhava, seating him on the throne of an unswerving faith, he will be pleased instantly. Absolutely. You need to have that unwavering faith, unflinching faith. And when you do that, when you wash his feet with the love and tears of joy, that is when he will be pleased. That is what he's saying. And then once he's pleased, he will realize you, he on his own will grant you that benediction. You don't have to ask for it. Try around his Tying around his waist the mekhala of devotion, make him your very own, and make him an offering of your all to him with love. Perform the arti. Absolutely. See, all this has been talking about devotional service since yesterday. There are bits and pieces where Baba is saying, how do you attain what you have to? One of the most important parts which Baba is very nicely explaining here is the devotional service, the only path, and that is the best path to have. And having absolute devotion or single pointed devotion is also not easy, but that is, yes, it is achievable. It is easily achievable when you fix your mind on it. When you make your life goal that this is exactly what I want to attain, which is my spiritual will. When you fix your mind and when you have that firm resolve, then you definitely can attain it. So that is what it's saying. Make a law of devotion. When you have to have a single pointed devotion, make him your very own. Consider him as to be your everything of everything. For me, my Krishna Guruji is my everything of everything. I keep saying this. He's my beloved. He's my best friend. He's my father, mother, my Krishna Ma, my Guru Ma, the greatest mother, the mother of this universe, the father of this universe. That is who he is. He's my husband, he's my brother, sister, everything. He's the best teacher that I've always wanted. He's the Harvard under whose tutelage I study. I am very proud and pleased to say this, that it is only by invitation that you get to study under him. That is the grace. And when you have that grace, what other Harvards you want to go and study in? I have no other Harvards to go. I'm very grateful to be studying under him. But that can only fructify when I'm able to live the lessons that he's teaching. So we all have to learn whatever your guru teaches and apply practically in our life. But if you don't do that, then there is no point. Yes, it's going to become like he's going to go on saying the same thing a million and a billion times. But what use is it if he doesn't see even one of his students living up to that? At least, of course, you can't even live up to his expectations. He doesn't even have any expectations because he knows we are all human beings who are fallible in nature, because we are unable to overcome our nature. He understands this. It's very difficult to overcome this inherent nature. So he always cuts slacks. He's always giving you that leeway so that you can take it a little easy. But please know that easy is not going to help you grow in any way. But you have to put that effort. So make him your very own. He is my everything of everything. And you have to live, breathe only him. You have to prioritize him as number one in your life. And rest, everything else follows later. But if you give everything else the priority and him you you put him in the last, then nothing is going to work. That is what it's saying. And making him an offering of your all. You have to surrender your mind, body, senses, soul, everything of everything. You have to just go naked and completely surrender unto his lotus feet with love and perform his aarti, and do his aarti. That is how you will be able to evolve. And you have to sing his praises, glories, do bhajans, kirtans, dance for him. Do the devotional service. That's exactly what has been discussed. That is what Baba is teaching here. How do you attain him? How do you serve him? How do you be devoted to him? Total destruction of any object or work has for its basis the fact of its existence. When an earthen jar hit by a stone is broken, what is destroyed is only its shape. Absolutely true. Total destruction of any object or work has for its basis the fact of its existence. When an earthen jar hit by a stone is broken, what is destroyed is only its shape. So when the earthen jar is broken, what is broken? Only the shape of it. Then it goes back, it becomes mud again, right? It goes back into the elements. Similarly, this body is like a bottle. The water is one alone inside of this, the divinity. But what is the bottle has its own shape and it has its own name and color. That is all it is. That's the only difference. But beyond that, do you see any other difference? No. They all come from the same mold. That is exactly what my Guruji teaches. He says they all are the creation of Prakriti. And you have taken a body. You've come here to serve a purpose. So why are you thinking that you are the body? Why are you associating yourself that somebody is your father, mother, brother, sister and getting carried away with them? You believe that they are the ones who belong to you, but not your guru. But the real family is your guru. He is that family of yours. He is Vasudev Kutumbam. You belong to that family. But what do you think? Oh, I'm married. He's my husband. I've given birth to my child. Somebody is my daughter, son. No, we all meet in this life, as a journey. But last life, we don't even know who they were. They must have been somebody else. We don't even know. The association happens only for this life. In the river, all the logs meet at a point. They go together and then they part ways. That's it. Once you die, you part your way. And then next life, what happens? You don't even know what your birth is going to be. So why are you believing that that is who your family is? And then you're getting lost. My mother is sick, my father is sick, I have to take care of my family, children. Where is this all coming from? On the contrary, when you attain the spiritual wheel, you're doing justice to your family themselves. You're redeeming them. So go on that path. Redeem not only yourself, but the people associated with you too. But the existence of the jar is not destroyed in the least, for its broken pieces yet have the potential of being recreated into a jar. See, this is the truth. But the existence of the jar is not destroyed in the least, for its broken pieces yet have the potential of being recreated into a jar. What does this mean? You will be born and again and again and again. Why? Because of your attachment. So you as a jar are not going to die or completely merge in the in the elements. Yeah, you're going to be recreated. Why the recreation happens? Because of your attachments, because of your bondage, because you're so focused on believing that I am the body, I am the body. So you need to overcome this. Thus, the destruction of an object is always based on the fact of its existence. Similarly, the death of anyone does not result in nothingness. Absolutely. So doesn't mean that when somebody's died, they have become nothing or they are attained the divinity, that they are not going to be born again. No. When they die, they are already sanctioning themselves many other lives. What life they will come, what form they will take, what life they will take, what is they going to be the next birth, we don't know. But definitely they have already sanctioned themselves many more life. Many millions of lives rather. So there is no effect without a cause. Even if the manifest becomes unmanifest, it is always related to the truth. And this is experienced everywhere. Absolutely. See, there is no effect without a cause. There is always a cause and an effect. Even if the manifest becomes unmanifest, it is always related to the truth alone. So the manifest becomes unmanifest. What does it mean? What does manifest become unmanifest mean? So I'm the body, but when I attain the divine, so I become that unmanifest. I realize that I am that. So the identity with the body goes away. I become one with the divine. But it is always related to the truth. Yes, it is only related to the truth. But this is what you need to understand, and this is experienced everywhere. This is what is the truth, that it goes back from where it's come, but that understanding has to dawn on you, and that can only happen with the grace of the Guru, not in any other circumstances or not otherwise at all. The order of variations in the degree of subtlety who reveals this, even after the destruction of the gross body, its astral body still remains. Oh my God, this is actually scary. What does it mean? See, your gross body dies, but what remains is your subtle body. We have 5 sheets. I hope you remember this. So what is it? The food body, then you have the mind body, then you have the intellect body, that is Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya Kosh and Anandamaya Kosh. So there are 5 sheets, but the one that doesn't die is your mind body. And the memory associated with that mind, it always carries forward. So that is why you need to destroy the mind. Your gross body can die, but your mind body doesn't die. So that is why it takes another form. This is what is meaning. So the only way to destroy that is when you attain the realization, that God realization, then you're destroying that mind body. Then nothing shall befall you. Then you are only attaining the divinity alone. And when even that body is destroyed and what is even more subtle remains, then the power of all the organs of the mind and intellect to enjoy sensual pleasures becomes feeble. Absolutely. In short, where even the is varied out, there the manifest becomes unmanifest, but its existence is not covered up or smothered. It shines everywhere by itself. I hope you understand. I think I explained it. See, till you do not destroy the mind body, my Guruji will always say, an example I'll give you. When somebody must have said something bad about you, whether it is your boss or maybe your best friend has said something bad about you, the thought is created, is become a memory in you. Now you're carrying that memory for a long time. Even after many years, when your best friend comes and stands in front of you, the first thing that hits you hard is that she said this about me. But where does it come from? It's there in your memory somewhere. So the memory, the thought that immediately whatever she said comes and stands in front of you. So what has happened then? Then you've already created a karmic bond with her. The karma has already happened. Then what does it mean? You're sanctioning a life where in your next many births, she will have to be in your place and you have to be in her place, where you are going to say the same bad thing to her. And you're going to cause more karmas on the path. So most important thing you need to destroy is this memory. You need to learn to let go and ignore. And that is why my Krishna Guruji teaches, which is taught very beautifully in Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Shri Krishna says, when somebody is saying bad things, you think they're all saying praises about you. And when somebody is saying all the good things, think that they're all saying bad things about you. And this way, you will be able to achieve equanimity of mind. Till you do not have the equanimity of mind, then this cycle goes on and on and on. And this is just an example with one person, but can you believe in the family, or whether it's your husband, children, mother, father, everybody is saying too many things because people don't have control over their tongue. They say, no, in Marathi, they say, jibila hard nai, means the tongue doesn't have a bone. So it's garrulous. It keeps blabbering whatever comes to its, whatever it feels like. So you just talk nonsense, dime a dozen. You don't know how to speak. You don't know when to speak what. And this is one very important lesson my Krishna Guruji says. And he's so amazing. I'll always admire how beautifully he will speak, where it's not going to hurt anybody. I'm talking in the normal sense, but as a guru, he will give two tight slaps. The way he'll teach is very powerful. He's going to be very blunt on your face. This is who you are. He'll say, you are like a pig in the sty who wants to be living in that muck. Get up and do something with your life. That's the way he will talk. But that doesn't mean he's criticizing you. He's telling your mind is like that, which wants to keep going and mulling over that mire, that gutter of yours. So why are you becoming that pig? Get up and do something with your life. You're the divine being. Why are you reducing yourself to that level? That is what it means. And most importantly, my Guruji will always say very nice things about everybody, even though he knows their nature. It doesn't affect him. He knows that the person is given into their nature. They cannot overcome their nature. So it doesn't matter to him what anybody says. And he's least bothered whether somebody has to praise him, somebody has to give him galis. It doesn't affect him a bit. But with everybody, he gives them that motivation, that love. Even when he knows, even when people have misbehaved with him terribly, even then, he's compassionate. He shows his goodness and he only showers his love on them. Why? Because that is what God means. That is who a guru is. Compassionate, being loving, kind, benevolent, forgiving, kindness, full of love. He's that ocean of love. So he's always going to say, it's okay. You're a human being. I understand you're going to make the same mistake over and over again. But what is that effort? By doing this, someday he believes that we will change. That is the hope he has. And with that hope, he continues to put lot of effort in giving that knowledge. I feel sometimes it hurts me. I feel very sad at my Guruji. I wish someday I attained that state, that state of equanimity of mind, where I'm not going to get swayed even when I look at some objects. Yes, I do have that. I am still learning and trying to overcome that lesson in my own life, where I don't have to carry memory about anybody. It's not important because everybody's talking through their mind. So it doesn't matter what people say, because they are saying from their mind. Why should that matter to you? You know what? The only thing that you need to, that only thing that should matter to you is what your guru says and what your God says. People are, it doesn't matter. They talk from their mind. And when this truth is embedded within you, then you will have samabhav. Samabhav is, you will see everybody with an equal eye. You will be able to have that equipoise of mind where you have attained peace within yourself, where you're not feeling angry, hatred, bitterness, jealousy, avarice. Yesterday we did all of this, we are not going to feel any of this. Then you are going to conquer, overcome your shadripus, your tendencies, and then you will be feeling that blissful self. And then you will be able to see goodness in everyone. Sometimes we have such strong aversions to people, some of the objects, you might not like. The moment you see them, it just hits you so strongly. Why? What does it hit? It's a mind. Because you're carrying that memory inside of you. Because of that memory, that event, the moment you see that object, that memory comes in front of you. That is exactly what is happening, but you have to overcome. That is where you have to put extraordinary effort. That is what Lord Shri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita has said. Yes, it is my conviction that you will be able to control the mind, but with extraordinary effort, with arduous effort, you will be able to overcome. So put that effort. You don't have to carry that mind. Yes, you have to practice hard. Someday you will get there, but you have to keep striving. Don't give up and don't fall prey to these objects around you. It's not worth it. Why do you want to sanction yourself why do you want to come back again for that person? Why are you giving that opportunity to be born again and get into the karmic bond with any of these individuals? You don't need to. This is what my Guruji teaches. Ignore and move on. Focus in your life. Focus on your progress. You achieve your spiritual will. Don't get distracted by what you see around. That is Maya and that is unreal. In short, where even the intellect is buried out. Okay, we finish this. Intellect sports desires. Hence, when it is destroyed, the self rises into eminence instantly and the eternal abode is reached. Absolutely. Intellect sports desires. So there is desires. And hence, when it is destroyed, when you destroy this intellect and the desires within, the self rises within. That is why we say self-realization. The self has to reveal itself. It's not like somebody can give it to you from outside. The self will reveal itself to you at the right time when you are able to overcome all of this into eminence instantly and the eternal abode is reached. Ignorance, Maya, desires and karma are the main qualities of death. I think we have discussed this enough. I'm not going to go in detail now. When all these are abandoned, the ties of worldly life also falls off. And once these ties are severed, the true self emerges effortlessly. As the self-illumined sun shines, once the cloud disappears. I am the body, this is my wealth. This is called the firmly rooted bodily ego. And this alone is the ensnaring cause of the bondage of the heart, as also of the sorrows arising from Maya. Oh my God, I think we discussed enough, but I will still read this. I am the body, this is my wealth. I am the body, I have the possession, this is my house, this is my family, I have earned so much, I can't take care of this house now, I want to give it away. Why is this attachment? Just leave it at the divine will. No, let what has to happen. Why are you holding it? Let go of it. People are, they are at an age when they have to die. They are already reaching the time. My Guruji will say, one foot is already in the deathbed and one foot you're still, you're holding, keeping it on the material world and being attached. Why? Just let go and you have to only take the name of the divine. Don't waste your life. This is what is being said here. This is my wealth. This is called a firmly rooted bodily ego, and this alone is the ensnaring cause of the bondage of the heart, as also of the sorrows arising from Maya. What is the sorrows and what is the bondage? Sorrows is very simple. I don't know what to do. I'm just sitting. I want to sell this house. I want to do something. What are you talking? Just let go. Give it away. Why are you still holding? Why are you thinking it is yours? When will you let go? You are at an age where you just have to only take the name of the divine. Instead, you are getting attached. Why do you need to get attached to all this? I want to watch football match. I want to watch cricket match. I want to do this. I want to do that. I can't keep sitting. What are you doing? Don't waste time. Read the words of the divine. Somewhere you will have to let go of all these things. Give it away. Can you believe people? What is that I don't understand in life? And I've seen few families and some people that I know about. They work really hard and they save every penny. They save every penny because they think that they have to, it is their duty to get their children married off. The next duty is then they are attached to their grandchildren, that I need to give this to my granddaughter, grandson, all that. And then the third is I need to have some savings for my sickness. And then they will work really hard, slog, and keep that money. But what use is that money? Why can't you just live your life? I don't understand. Why should you leave something for someone else? It is your hard earning. Please spend it. But I've never understood this logic. They will count every penny and save so hard and say, oh, I did not do this. I walked 3 bus stops so that I could save the 10 rupees, additional 10 rupees. But for what use is it? It's no use. You're working hard. Just live for your life. Live yourself. My Guruji, one very beautiful lesson he gave me. It is, what is that lesson? To live in the here and the now. And it's a very stupid example, but I'm going to give. Sorry, that was a break. So the stupid example, but I'll share this example. I bought some clothes and I used to wear them when I was living abroad. One day my Guruji was saying, I had bought some dresses and I said, I will wear this for this festival, or I will wear it on this occasion, something to that effect. And you know what he gave me? He says, why do you think that you have to wait to that some tomorrow, that you don't even know whether you will fit in that garment or not? You bought it now. Wear it, finish off your desire, live it for this moment and move on. Why do you think that you have to wear it that some other day? We hoard things, the thinking that there is going to be a day in our life where we will be able to enjoy that in the way our mind has imagined or expected. It's created an expectation within us. But tomorrow you might either put on weight or you might lose weight, so that garment might not even fit you. So what makes you think you are going to keep those and wear? And exactly something happened in the similar case with me. I bought some of the Western outfits today, which I'm no more going to wear them. And I was amazed and I packed all of them and I said, okay, I need to give them away. And at that moment, I told my Guruji, I now remember what you mentioned. It is in the here and the now that I have to live. If I want to eat something, if I want to wear something, do it now. There is no tomorrow in our life. We don't know if there is a tomorrow at all or not. So what makes us think that we are saving it for some rainy day? There is no rainy day. There is no winter day. Just surrender to the divine Lord Almighty. Be happy in the moment. Live now. If you want to go eat something, put that effort, go make whatever the dish and eat now. Finish it off. Why are you thinking I will eat tomorrow, day after, or why are you thinking that I will wear that tomorrow? There is no tomorrow, and I have experienced this lesson in my own life. You might even put on weight and that garment is not even going to fit you. So what makes you think that? And yes, exactly happened. Yes, I put on weight and there are certain garments which don't even fit me. So whatever that I spent on that, now am I going to do over it? Okay, so Krishna Arpan. Yes, I needed to get that lesson, I've got. So today I don't wait for there is a tomorrow. I live now. It's here and the now. Today I have the opportunity. Today my Guruji is with me. Today my God is with me. I need to live to the best of my ability to learn from him. That has to be my ultimate goal, because that is all the time I have. So I should not waste the time. And I'm telling you, yes, I keep repeating this, because of my ignorance. Many a time I've wasted my time unnecessarily arguing with my guru, not understanding it. And he was actually today explaining to my, one of the ashram inmates, and he was saying, earlier when I used to tell her some things, I used to, taint her mind. You know what the gurus do? They have a very unique way of talking. They talk to everybody's mind. And in that, my Guruji has actually told me a very powerful lesson. You know what he says? He says, I'm actually going to tell you the opposite, because I want to see whether you're understanding the truth and taking the right decision or not. I'm going to actually, it's not tainting, he's not tainting my mind, but he'll say, I will try to misguide you, but I want you to take the right decision. It is only to see whether you have understood that lesson or not that he is interested in me, falling. Not at all. And then many a time he's going to talk to the mind and taint the mind more, because he wants me to rise above, to apply this knowledge imparted to me. And if I don't apply what I'm learning, then how am I going to overcome that Maya? So that is exactly what what he said to one of his disciples. And at that time I was telling him, Guruji is just saying these things to, see whether you are falling prey to that or not. And I'm not joking. For nth time, I would end up falling to what he's saying, and I would end up either arguing, fighting with him. But then nothing like that. That was just his Maya. That is exactly what he does. And then he himself said, now just 1%, 0.0001% I understand. I can see through what is doing. This is after 12 years of life. 12 years studying under him. Today I'm able to little bit see through that, but still I can't understand. It's not so easy to understand the great master. His way of teaching is incredible. I have no words to describe the way he can teach. It's amazing. And you just have to go along that path, and you just have to journey. It's very beautiful. Yes, it's not easy, but it's very beautiful. But you have to put that effort. So coming back, live in the here and the now. There is no tomorrow. So don't think about a tomorrow which you don't even know whether it's existing or not. Because please understand, man proposes, God disposes. And this is the truth. So what are you waiting for? If you want to do something, do it now. There is no tomorrow. And I've seen many people in my world and around that they rue over certain things because they were not able to do that now. They let that moment go. Once that moment is gone, you're never going to get back. So the most important lesson is living in the here and the now. Live for today. Live this moment. Don't bother what the tomorrow is going to be. Why are you bothered? Focus your life now and be lost in the divine. That is all that Baba is also teaching. And this is a very important lesson which is taught, same thing over and over again in all the scriptures, be it Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Uddhav Gita, Narad Bhakti Sutra, or even Das Samarth Ramdas Das both. We even did the same thing in Devi Mahatmyam also. Even if this body falls and is replaced by another body by virtue of its karma, if that man fails to destroy totally the very germ of that karma, then rebirth is inevitable for him. I think I've already explained this verse. I'm not going to go in detail again. The seeds again grow into trees, acquiring new bodies from the seeds of the desires from previous births. And so the cycle continues ceaselessly until those desires are becalmed. Oh my God, this is so powerful. And that is why Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji, this very beautiful story about Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji fulfilling one of his desires of wearing a silk shawl with a beautiful zari border. And he asks, I forgot the name, my apologies. He asks the one who takes care of him, he says, I want to, wear this shawl. So he brings that, the red color zari border shawl, he wears for 2 minutes and then he chucks it aside. What Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji says is, I don't want that desire to be there with me. So he momentarily fulfills the desire and chucks it off right then. And then he overcomes that. This is a very important lesson. Please know that if you're having endless desires within you, then you're still going to be sanctioning many more lives. You're sanctioning yourselves that many birth and rebirth continuously. This is what it means. The seeds again grow into trees, acquiring new bodies. See, you're sanctioning, you're taking different forms again from the seeds of the desires. Why? Because your desires have been unfulfilled. The desires are remaining, and because of the desires, you're definitely going to keep taking the body. Some other body you're going to keep granting. Why? Because in this life you might not have got something, and if that desire is always there, even till the death, if it is going to be hankering you, then you're definitely going to sanction yourself. I can guarantee you, you are taking another body, and you have to come back to fulfill that desire of yours from previous births. And so the cycle continues ceaselessly. There's no break. It can't break until those desires are becalmed. What does it mean? That till the time you don't achieve, you don't finish off that desire, it's calmed, you're still going to come back. And that is why the only way to attain this is surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Guru, where he will be able to help you with renunciation. And when there's a beautiful teaching, and it is very important that when we drink the holy water, which is washed the feet of the Guru, and when you drink that water, it removes all the desires within you. That is one of the ways, because the Guru is a desireless being. And it is also said, when the Guru finish eating, right, from that plate, when you eat that morsel of food, that also makes you a desireless being. That is why when Samarth Ramdas ate the bhakri and left, that is what Shivaji Maharaj would eat as a prasad, because that is the highest good that it can do to you. He did not care about all the rich food that he offered to the Guru. The Guru wouldn't even touch, he would just distribute it. But Samarth Ramdas Maharaj would eat the bhakri, and Shivaji Maharaj would wait to get the prasad. And once he finishes eating, and whatever the leftover was, that bhakri is what Shivaji Maharaj ate, because that is the prasad, that is the purity. When you eat that, it purifies your being. It removes all your desires, and slowly makes you also become a desireless being over a period of time. So it is important that you do that in whatever form. So we practice. That practice is important. I don't know where I read this lesson, and I don't know if it is Guru Gita or any of the scriptures. Whatever the plate in where your Guruji eats, that little food, even that morsel of food, the leftover is what you have to eat. In the olden times, as part of the Guru Shishya Parampara, it is meant that after serving the master, the disciples would eat from the same plate which the Guru has eaten. Whatever he used to leave, I've read it in Guru Charitra. The Guruji will leave that half food. He will eat how much ever he wants, and that remaining is what the highest of the disciples, who are such a devoted to the Guruji, they would sit and eat those food. The leftovers from the master's plate. That is the prasad they would have. That is the Guru Shishya Parampara, a tradition followed very, very strongly. But today people think, oh, how can I eat? He's eaten, I will not eat. No, that is the blessing. You need to be blessed to get that meal. That does the highest good to you, and then you will inculcate that qualities of the Guru will come into you. The beautiful divine qualities that the master has will then slowly be embedded within you. Then you will become exactly like your Guruji. So, once these desires are destroyed totally, the heart is freed from the bondage. Only then does the mortal man become immortal. Even the Upanishads give the same message. See, everywhere is the same message. The state that transcends dharma adharma is called viraja, or the state of desirelessness. Oh my God! You know what? It's such it's so interesting, because my Guruji is doing an entire chapter on how to become desireless. The chapter is all about the Samarth Ramdas Maharajas, from the teachings from Samarth Ramdas Das Bodh is about desirelessness. So you must go listen to it on Krishna Knows, because it will tell you how to become desireless, how to overcome these desires. Because without overcoming the desires, you cannot attain spiritual weal. And I'm saying this again and again. This goes for everybody. When you have to evolve on the path, you have to become desireless. Having any desires, you cannot become spiritual at all. You cannot attain the spiritual weal. So, which destroys ignorance and desires, and where death has no power whatsoever. Abandonment of all desires is in itself the means of attaining the highest bliss, which, though indescribable, is attempted to be put into words, and which, though beyond speech, is sought to be rendered into speech. What does this mean? Abandonment of all desire is in itself the means of attaining highest bliss. Absolutely. See, when there are no desires, when there is no hankering, you have nothing else to attain. That itself is freedom. That itself is a blissful state to be in, which, though indescribable, that state cannot be described. What is this blissful state? It is the freedom from attachment. It is the freedom from the pairs of opposites. That is the highest form of bliss. Bliss doesn't mean a state of happiness. It's a state of equanimity. It's you're centered. You're in that samabhav state, which cannot be described, through words. It is indescribable, is attempted to be put into words, which, though beyond speech. See, every scripture is trying to explain. They are giving inferences, they are giving references of what that state feels like, but it is beyond description. It is beyond speech, it is beyond words that can describe the state. Is sought to be rendered into speech, but is sought to be rendered into speech. But we are trying to explain it. Nobody can explain. That is why it is said that you need to have the direct experience of this knowledge. The gurus, the great master, my Krishna Guruji, will explain what this means, but you need to get the direct experience. How will you get the direct experience? By practically becoming desireless. So you have to make that effort and go towards the path of achieving desirelessness. So when you achieve that, then you will be able to get that experience of this blissful state. Gaining complete knowledge of the Parabrahma is itself the end of all that is unpropitious, the fulfillment of all heartfelt desires. And this finds sport in the Shrutis and Smritis too. Very beautiful. Gaining complete knowledge of the Parabrahma. When you understand what this Parabrahma means, what is Parabrahma in itself, how to attain, when you attain that Parabrahma, is itself the end of all that is unpropitious. Then it completely destroys all that is unpropitious. Your tendencies, your evil propensity, everything is destroyed. The fulfillment of all heartfelt desires, and it is the state of Sachidanand, where your heart is pure, completely filled with all your heartfelt desires. When his heartfelt desires is that desires which comes from the divine Lord Almighty who is residing in your heart. And this finds sport in the Shrutis and Smritis too. And this is what is being explained in the Shrutis and in Smritis too. He who has gained Brahmanyana has attained his eternal abode. And that alone is the ultimate means of experiencing the bliss of oneness with the Brahman. What else can be higher than this? The self-realized is the one that goes beyond all sorrows. See, I can only explain, I can give very basic examples, but this knowledge or this experience is only given by the great master, the real master, not anybody else. Only a real master can give you this experience when you have evolved on that path. That is why it says, Moksha Moolam Gurur Krupam. Only with the grace of the Guru can you attain this realization or experience of God. That is Parabrahman. He who has gained Brahmanyana has attained his eternal abode, and that alone is the ultimate means of experiencing the bliss of oneness with the Brahman. Then you become one with the divine Lord Almighty. And how do you become one with the Lord Almighty? Why does Moksha Moolam Gurur Krupam? Please understand, the Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. The Parabrahma is Guru itself. So when he is pleased with you, when you have overcome, then you experience through him. It is very easy actually. See, you are having the Parabrahma in your hand, yet you are seeking it somewhere. Why? Because you have not been able to surrender to your Guru. That is the problem. So it all comes back to absolute faith, complete surrender, unconditional pure love and exclusive devotion unto the lotus feet of the Guru. Then what else? Dispassion, detachment, and discrimination. When you cannot attain all these three with your guru, where is the Parabrahman? Though the Parabrahman is sitting right in the palm of your hand, yet you are searching it everywhere. You think there is something else outside. No, no, sir. The Parabrahman is the Guru himself. So, what are you seeking outside? How funny is it, no? We are trying to seek something outside. No, the Parabrahman is sitting right in my palm of my hand. Many times my Guruji will say, I'm right there in your palm of your hand, yet you can't find me. And this is the truth which Baba is talking about here. He says, the ultimate means of experiencing the bliss of oneness with the Brahman. What else can be that higher than this? The self-realized is the one that goes beyond all sorrows. Absolutely. When you realize that, then there is no sorrow. There's nothing at all. Then you be in that blissful state. But first, to attain that, you have to surrender unto the lotus feet of the Guru. The Guru is the only way. That is why we say Guru is the doorway to the God. He is the Parabrahma himself. So he is the Lord Almighty. So what else are you searching for? But first, to be able to surrender to the Guru is not a joke. He is going to put you into so many tests. Between like my Krishna Guruji will say, between you and me, there is something called your mind. The day you surrender, the day you let go of your mind, you already have attained me. That is the truth. See, he's speaking the truth. The truth is right, staring at you in front of your eyes, yet we can't see. Unfortunate. So overcome this ego, your arrogance, mind, everything, and just surrender to him. God realization is like that. It's actually the most easiest, yet the most difficult. Why? Because of your mind. The ocean of worldly life, which is the source of the darkness or ignorance, tamas, can be crossed over by only one means, which is Brahmanyana, the means of attaining everything. Absolute faith and patience with courage. These are Uma Maheshwar, Shiva and Parvati. And unless their hand of benediction falls on the head, that all-pervading Almighty, who also dwells in our hearts, can never be realized. Absolute faith and patience, Shraddha and Saburi, which Baba says it always. He says, until you don't have that absolute faith and patience with courage. Courage is very important to face anything, to attain the truth in life. That is what the courage you need to have. You cannot get deterred. What is the Maya? My mother is sick. My mother has become fragile. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. All that is Maya. Have that courage and faith in the Lord Almighty. Doesn't matter. Let go, detach, surrender. Nobody belongs to you and you're not responsible for anybody. This entire creation is the creation of the Lord. He's the father and he's the mother. He knows how to take care of everybody. So why are you bothered? So surrender. And unless these are Uma Maheshwar, Shiva and Parvati, and unless their hand of benediction falls on the head, that all-pervading Almighty who also dwells in our hearts can never be realized. So said Sainath, the greatest among the Gurus, whose words are of unfailing veracity. Have a little patience, perseverance, of a firm faith, and you will acquire the greatest glory. Absolutely. So most important, faith, patience, perseverance, of firm faith, and you will acquire the greatest glory. So we are already at the end of the hour. I think it's quite a heavy lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, but go and, please do Shravan, Manan and Nididhyasan. Go and contemplate, retrospect, and understand what this means. And then you will slowly evolve. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a lifetime journey. It doesn't happen overnight. But yes, please know that Baba is right in the palm of your hand. What have you to overcome? The ego, the mind, the body, the senses, everything that says, I am the greatest. Give up that. Surrender with humility and humbleness. Moksha Moolam Gurur Krupam. When the Guru is pleased, you will attain God realization. There is nothing else for you to attain. It is quite easy. But have that firm faith and love unto the lotus feet of the Divine Master. And then He will sail you through. He's the one who will show you across the ocean of worldliness. So thank you for joining Sai Satcharita Parayan. Here we will stop today at verse 61. Tomorrow we will continue from verse 62. ओम श्री महागणपते नमः। ओम श्री गुरुदेव दत्त। ओम श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा। ओम श्री कृष्ण गुरुनाथ नाथाय श्री गुरुवे नमः। ओम देवी दुर्गाय नमः। ओम श्री कृष्णार्पणम नमस्तु। कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुम्।